We're talking about food photography and styling your food, how to do it, how to make it look so good you could eat it, because sometimes you make something and it tastes great, but it doesn't look so good. So we're talking about styling food. Jesse's here to talk about setting the table, if you will.
Yes.
Yes.
Which we're...
Yes, right, we'll start there at the cookies.
Yeah, so we'll end up with the burger. We're gonna start over here with the cookies. And I think it's really important to figure out how to photograph your photos. When I started my blog a year and a half ago, I had maybe 100 people to my website, and it was probably only my mom, literally, like all the time going to it. And last month I had 500,000 unique visitors, and I think like in December, November, I had 1.3 million. And that's all based on what you're making with your photos and how good your photo is, because when it goes to Pinterest, if it's good, those people are gonna click on it and go back to your website. And that's when you start getting advertising dollars and you really start gaining popularity with your website.
So
that's why
explain
this
to us,
is
though,
important. Yeah.
how styling it, though, attracts people to the web.
So let's start with cookies, because most people at home are baking goods, you know? Most bloggers at home are making cakes, pies, cookies. So this is a real cookie, and maybe when you set them out at home, you would put them on a platter and spread them all out for your family.
Sure.
But when you're taking a photo, that doesn't really look as good as something like this when you stack them on a platter. So when we're stacking these, we're keeping it very simple because the cookies are focal point. We're putting it on a white platter with white glasses, full of milk, obviously. Maybe you want to serve it with coffee, a cappuccino, not necessarily Coke or some sort of soda.
In other words, keep a simple palette of colors.
Keep a simple palette. The cookies are what are going to stand out. And notice I stacked them in an odd number. The reason to do this is it's more pleasing to the eye to see something in an odd number, 3, 5.
I was going to say, I thought that was odd.
Right. So when you have, it's true though. They've done studies on this kind of stuff, and that's why, you know, people get paid lots and lots of money for food photography. So you want to stack them in an odd number. And then again, we put the milks in the back. We added these straws. These are really cool, these paper straws. You can get them anywhere, online, in stores. They come in lots of different colors. I have every color at my house. So no matter what I'm photographing, I can put in a different color straw that maybe fits that theme.
Well, we did shoot this.
We did. So we shot this at your house, and we have 2 photos. The first one is when we had the milk vase in the back. You see how it's positioned correctly, so you see milk exactly, and you read it. And we had the flowers on the side.
Takes your focal point away.
It does. It takes your focal point away from the cookies. So what we did was we tilted the glass in the next photo. So it wasn't the focal point, and the cookies are the hero. We removed the flowers, so you're really just seeing the cookies. And that was our finished photo for this particular
I like that it wasn't so obvious. Like you can complete that word without seeing the whole word.
You know it's milk. We don't need to read it completely. Exactly.
Right.
So now we're going to move on
this
to the lemonade.
Yeah, because we went back and forth on the lemonade.
We went back and forth with this, and we did. So with the lemonade, we had basic lemonade. With any kind of drink, you really can dress up what's it called? You know, the table. The table.
Yeah, sure.
So for this is a napkin. And what's cool about this is you can get different color napkins, and you can invest in like one off, one red, one yellow, one blue, so it's affordable. If you didn't want to do that, you can actually buy these placemats. They have these all over the place. These are plastic placemats. They look like wood. They come in patterns. They even have paper versions. So you can slide these under your food.
Yeah, you don't need a whole tablecloth.
Right.
No,
you don't need a whole tablecloth, and you don't need an
frame.
expensive wood table because you can use things like this.
And what I love about all of this is I go to Home Goods a lot. That's where I got the milk pitcher and those little glasses. I go there all the time because they have these kind of things, and you can buy 1 or 2 of them.
Buy 1 or 2 and use them for your photos, and switch them out depending on what you're photographing. So with these, we actually have a couple photos to show you. Again, I put the glasses in 3s instead of 2. We started out with just the mint in the picture. It looked kind of bland. So then we added the raspberries. Kind of brightened up the picture, picked up the yellow. And then we thought we should still have something in the corner, so we added that lemon. I thought the lemon looked a little heavy, and this is important to keep photographing. So the final picture, we sliced the lemons. So you really want to play around with your photos and see what looks good.
By the way, I want to step in just to tell you, too, when we did this, we had a tripod, which is something that's part of the photography aspect of it, but it's great because your camera's set, take a picture, move things around, and your camera's not moving.
And that's the whole purpose, of the digital cameras, is to see what you're photographing. So another thing, these straws, these are really long. All I did was cut them off with scissors, so it brought the height down and it looked normal in the glasses.
Right.
Perfect.
Okay. On to the hero. I loved how you styled this.
Right, so the burger has a lot of colors going on, so unlike the lemonade, we wouldn't want to put it on something patterned, so we kept it on this wood slab, which is really cool because a lot of times in my pictures, I use a cutting board, like my real wood cutting board, and this way you can pick this up and move it around your house, depending on where the best light is. So sometimes I'll be in my laundry room where the best light is, and you won't know where this photo's taken, but it's great because I can move it around. So we put this in a little frying pan.
Why a little pan? Why wouldn't you go with
so the
a
littler
big?
the plate, the bigger the food looks, okay? So that's why you get small plates, like a cake plate versus a dinner plate when you're photographing
Oh, it's
food,
gonna make
because
our
it makes
hero.
the hero look bigger and better.
Because this is really the focal point.
This is the focal point.
It's like back in the day when my dad told me this, when they would shoot westerns, all the buildings that they built for the cowboys were smaller,
The doorways
to make the
were
guys
smaller.
look bigger,
Exactly.
huh?
We do that here in the house to make you look.
Right.
That's it.
We do that all the time.
And
That's
then,
it.
cowboy.
again, garnish with what you're going to serve a burger with. We have the ketchup, we have the fries, we have iced tea in the background. You're not going to serve it with a donut. You want to keep, your surroundings consistent with what you're serving. There's a little too many fries on this, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll talk about that in your next, in your next segment.
I would
cut them down
probably-
maybe to make the burger look even.